As a child, I was very close to this one girl. I mean, very close. We were like best friends. One day, she didn't show up to school, and I had learned that she was actually unalived by her own mother. I remember this like it was yesterday. This was a big deal in my town. Fast forward a couple of months, and nobody seems to remember it. And I mean no one. I remembered her first and last name and looked it up along with the area I had lived in, and there were no articles, no mentions, anything regarding this girl. It was as if she never existed. I can't find pictures of her either. This is weird because my mother took many pictures of me at school with my friends, and there's not a single photo of us. I know this happened, but I feel as if I'm going crazy because I'm the only one that remembers this girl. I forgot to mention, the town I had lived in had tons of unalivings from gangs, so a little girl being unalived by her own mother would have made huge news in my area. But nothing. I'm not sure what's going on. It's like I changed to a dimension where she never even existed. This happened last year, but it still messes with my head. I was in the hospital after a routine surgery. Nothing crazy, just getting my gallbladder removed. Everything was supposed to be smooth. I woke up in recovery, feeling okay, but about an hour later, I suddenly felt really cold, dizzy, and like my heart was beating out of my chest. I told the nurse something felt wrong, and that's the last thing I remember from inside my body. What I remember next was watching the whole thing happen, like I was standing in the corner of the room. I could see myself lying on the bed, pale as hell. A bunch of nurses rushing in, alarms going off. One of them was doing chest compressions. Another was calling for a crash cart. I remember thinking, holy shit, I'm dying. But I didn't feel panic. I felt weirdly calm, detached. Like it wasn't really me down there, just a shell. I could hear them shouting numbers, shouting my name, and even yelling something like, "We're losing him." But I just watched. I even looked down at my arms and realized I didn't have arms. Not physical ones, at least. I was just this floating awareness, kind of like being in a dream, except more vivid than anything I've ever experienced. And then it got even weirder. I felt this pull, not like someone was grabbing me, but more like gravity started working in a different direction. Like I was about to be sucked upward somewhere. I don't know where. And right before it happened, I heard this voice in my head, totally calm, just say, "Not yet." The next thing I know, I jolted awake with a mask on my face, grasping like I had been underwater. My chest hurt like hell from the compressions. Turns out, I flatlined for almost 2 minutes. My heart completely stopped, but somehow I came back. I didn't tell anyone what I saw, not at first, but I'll say this. I was more alive during those 2 minutes than I've ever been in my entire life. And whatever I was, wherever I was floating, it wasn't nothing. It wasn't a dream. I know exactly what I saw and experienced. Okay, I need to share something bizarre that happened last night. My partner and our 10-year-old daughter and I decided to make our go-to weekend dinner roasted cabbage wedges, potatoes, and smoked sausage. You know the drill. Chop, season, toss in the oven. Total hands-off time, usually 45 minutes max. We've done this dozens of times. We started at 6 p.m. sharp. Preheated the oven to about 450. Chopped the vegetables, talked shit. Everyone at their station doing their thing. Everything felt normal. We even set a timer. But when the timer went off, the potatoes were done and we left the cabbage in for another 10 minutes. Here's where things get weird. We sat down at the counter to check our phones while waiting and collectively froze. 10:03. All of our devices, phones, oven clock, microwave, agreed. 4 hours had passed. 4. No, we didn't lose track of time. We didn't nap, binge a show, or leave the house. We were right there chatting, stirring the sausage, turning the cabbage. It felt like 45 minutes, tops. Our daughter kept asking, "Why is it dark outside?" And we didn't think much of it until we saw the clock. Here's the kicker. The oven was working fine. Everything cooked to perfection, defying physics, defying logic, defying every roasted vegetable law. Nothing was burnt to a crisp like it had been cooking for nearly 4 hours. Has anyone experienced a time glitch or a time vortex such as this?